So, Jonathan, tell us what in Prop 207 is specific to growing in your backyard and cultivation? What are the rules and laws proposed in this proposition?
Sure. So I'll start off with saying, in general, Prop 207 will allow every adult in Arizona to grow up to 6 plants of marijuana in their house. If you have a roommate or a significant other who's also of age, they'll be able to grow 6 plants also. So it's 6 plants per person and 12 plants per household. Those plants need to be grown in an enclosed area that's equipped with a lock or another security device. That's the purpose of that, is to prevent minors from accessing your plants. So, for example, the law says you could grow in a closet, in a locked room, or in a greenhouse. I heard you mention in your question growing in your backyard. So growing in your backyard would be off limits unless you're in a greenhouse, so you can lock the facility and make sure others can't access it. In addition to that, let's say you have a greenhouse in your backyard. You don't have a very big fence surrounding your backyard. That would probably also be barred by the law, because it needs to be out of public view altogether. So you have a greenhouse with glass on the side. Someone who's walking through a back alley or something like that can look in and see your plants. That's no good. So it does allow for cultivation, but there are significant safeguards to prevent, I suppose you could say, public annoyance and from children from accessing your plants. There's also a couple of other caveats. First of which is that landlords generally can prohibit you from doing that. So you've got to either have a friendly landlord or you've got to own your own property, number one. Number two, there's also some question as to what you can do with those plants after they reach maturity. So the law allows each adult to have up to 6 plants, but it only allows each adult to have up to 1 ounce of marijuana. So every marijuana plant will generate a number of ounces of marijuana flower. So if you harvest even one plant, you can go over your personal limit. And there's some dispute and disagreement among various attorneys I've spoken with as to whether or not, let's say you harvest one plant, you acquire 4 ounces from it, if you'll be able to possess all 4 of those ounces because it came from a plant, or if you can't because it puts you over that 1 ounce limit. So there's some arguments to be made, I think, that what this law envisions is you grow maybe one plant at a time, you wait a month, you grow another plant, so you harvest in kind of different periods, and then you can keep yourself under that limit more or less. Again, each plant will generate more than the limit allows, but the law states that you can gift marijuana to other people. So let's say you've got 4 friends, your plant produces 4 ounces of marijuana. You can gift now that marijuana, 1 ounce to each person, and you stay within your limit and within the confines of the law. I think, frankly, that this was kind of an oversight when the law was drafted. They didn't carefully, figure out what they wanted to do with that. So this is probably an issue that's going to end up being litigated in court. And in my view, it's kind of uncertain what that outcome is going to be. I tend to think personally that you'll be able to keep the harvest of your plant, but that's not entirely clear. At the same time, though, it's also unclear if this is a difference that's going to matter, at least all that much, because the law also includes an important provision that prohibits police from searching your house based solely on the suspicion, based solely on the grounds that your house smells like marijuana. But nevertheless, it's a significant open-ended question, and it's going to be left to be determined probably by the courts at some point.